मिश्रा, भारत दौरे पर आई म्यांमार के स्टेट काउंसलर आंग सान सू ची और प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के बीच आज नई दिल्ली के हैदराबाद हाउस में द्विपक्षीय बातचीत हो रही है। दोनों पक्षों द्वारा अहम समझौतों पर हस्ताक्षर होने की उम्मीद है। म्यांमार ने सीमा पार आतंकवाद के खिलाफ भारत के संघर्ष का जोरदार समर्थन किया है। और ये सीधी तस्वीरें हैदराबाद हाउस से, जहां दोनों ही नेता मौजूद।
I welcome you to today's ceremony where 3 documents will be exchanged. The first is an MOU between the Financial Regulatory Department of Myanmar and the Insurance Institute of India for designing an academic and professional building program for the insurance industry of Myanmar. This will be exchanged on the Myanmar side by U Cho Thin, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, and on the Indian side by Shri P. Venugopal, Secretary General, Insurance Institute of India. May I request the 2 dignitaries to step forward and exchange the agreements. Thank you, Excellencies. The second agreement is a MOU on cooperation in the field of power sector. This will be exchanged on the Myanmar side by His Excellency the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, U Cho Thin, and on the Indian side by Shri P.K. Pujari, Secretary, Ministry of Power. May I request the dignitaries to please step forward. Excellencies, the third and final agreement to be exchanged today is an MOU on banking supervision between the Reserve Bank of India and the Central Bank of Myanmar, to be exchanged on the Myanmar side by the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, U Cho Thin, and on the Indian side by the Deputy Governor of the Reserve Bank of India, Shri S.S. Mundra. Gentlemen. Excellencies, this concludes the exchange of agreement ceremony. Thank you. I will now invite my colleague spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to take the proceedings forward.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We will now have press statements by the 2 leaders. May I first invite the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, to deliver his press remarks.
Your Excellency, State Councillor Dr. Aung San Suu Kyi, distinguished members of the delegations, members of the media, it is indeed a great pleasure for me to welcome Her Excellency Dr. Aung San Suu Kyi on her first state visit to India. Excellency, you are no stranger to the people of India. The sights, the sounds, and vibrancy of Delhi are familiar to you. Welcome back, Excellency, to your second home. Excellency, you are an iconic leader. Your clear vision, mature leadership, struggle, and eventually success in establishing democracy in Myanmar has inspired people across the world. It is indeed an honor for us to receive you in India. We are also grateful for your participation at the BIMSTEC and the BRICS-BIMSTEC Outreach Summit in Goa a couple of days ago. Excellency, Myanmar has commenced a new journey under your able leadership. It is a journey of hope and much promise. Your dynamism and popularity is leading your country to develop its agriculture, infrastructure, and industry, strengthen its education and skills its youth, build modern institutions of governance, connect more deeply with South Asia and Southeast Asia, and provide security to the citizens. Let me assure you, Excellency, that as you lead Myanmar to become a modern, secure, economically prosperous, and better connected nation, India and its friendship will stand with you in full support and solidarity. Friends, the State Councillor and I have just concluded extensive and productive discussions on the full range of our partnership. India has a robust development cooperation program with Myanmar, from the mega connectivity projects like Kaladan and Trilateral Highway to projects in the fields of human resource development, healthcare, training and capacity building. We are sharing our resources and expertise with Myanmar. India's nearly $1.75 billion of development assistance is centered on people and is in line with the priorities of Myanmar government and its people. In our conversation, today we have agreed to enhance our engagement in several areas, including agriculture, power, renewable energy, oil and gas, and financial sector. India will develop a varietal development and seed production center in Yeje in Myanmar to enhance the quality of seeds. We will also work to develop a mutually beneficial arrangements for trade in pulses. We have offered to scale up the power supply from More in Manipur to Tamu in Myanmar. We will also partner in a pilot LED electrification project at a site designated by the government of Myanmar. The MOU on cooperation in the power sector signed just now will help create the framework for advancing our linkages in this important sector. Friends, as close and friendly neighbors, the security interests of India and Myanmar are closely aligned. We have agreed that a close coordination to ensure security in the areas along our border and sensitivity to each other's strategic interests will serve the interests of both our countries. Our societies enjoy a cultural connect that is centuries old. We have offered assistance in restoring pagoda damage in the recent earthquake in Myanmar. The Archaeological Survey of India will also soon begin work on restoring 2 old temples in inscription of King Mindo and King Bajida in Bodh Gaya. Excellency, I once again commend your leadership and your commitment to take Myanmar forward on its journey to peace, national reconciliation, and economic and social development. As a reliable partner and friend, India stands shoulder to shoulder with you. I wish you and the people of Myanmar all success. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I thank the Prime Minister for his statement. May I now invite Her Excellency Daw Aung San Suu Kyi, State Councillor of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, for her press remarks.
It gives me the greatest pleasure to be able to express a deep appreciation of our delegation for Your Excellency's kindness to us and for making this trip a happy as well as an extremely fruitful one. This visit has confirmed the long-standing friendship and trust that exists between our two countries. Your Excellency was kind enough to say that I have led on my party and my people in the movement for democracy. But in our struggle, we have been helped greatly by the thoughts of Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru, great leaders of the Indian independence movement, who have inspired us with their vision and with their belief in their people. We, as a nation struggling to make democratic culture take root in our country, believe in our people. Without a belief in our people, we could not think of setting up a democratic system of government. We believe that India, with its experiences, so similar to us in many ways, will be able to help us in our endeavors. As Your Excellency has outlined, we are going to be cooperating in the areas of construction, energy, agriculture, archaeology, education. A very, very wide range of subjects were covered during our discussions over the last couple of days. This morning, when I spoke to the Indian business community, I urged them to invest in trust. It's by investing in trust and confidence that our two countries will be able to help each other in the way forward. We have much to do. We are behind India in the field of development as well as in the field of politics, if you like, political development, both political and economic development. But we are confident that we will be able to make up for lost time with the support and understanding of our friends. This is why the capacity building programs that India is envisaging for us will be of tremendous help. This will move us forward from a position where we are almost behind all the other South Asian countries to the position we used to hold at one time when we were the first country in Southeast Asia, the country most likely to succeed, as we were then termed. Things change, life changes unexpectedly, but with good friends and with commitment and endeavor on our side, we hope to make up for lost time and to work together to establish not just friendship between our two countries, but peace and stability in our region and beyond. This is our ambition, to bring peace and stability to our country and to regions beyond, because we have suffered from lack of peace and stability for many decades, and we would not wish such a situation on any other nation in the world. India has been most understanding of our needs, and we believe that this understanding will only increase with time, because it is our intention to engage more closely together, to depend on each other for our needs, the needs that are the needs of the world at large, the need to make sure that our people have material progress at the same time as they build up their spiritual resources, for which India is so famous, and which I believe is an extremely valuable resource. Burma has often been congratulated for the abundance of its natural resources, but we have always said that the most precious resource is the human one. It's our people who are most important. We will run out of natural resources in time, but our people should always be there to take our country forward. And this is why we look to India as a country made up of diverse ethnic peoples, diverse religions, diverse languages, and out of all that, you have managed to create a nation that presents a united front to the world, and that is capable of helping other nations to progress along the same democratic path. We've always admired India for being the greatest democracy in the world and for being able to maintain the system in spite of the many challenges that have raised their heads since independence. We too have many challenges to face, but we are confident that these challenges can be overcome because our people are determined to overcome them. We are building up a very young democracy, and India is helping us, especially with the capacity building of our legislators as well as our civil servants. We need both. We need to build up the capacity of our legislators to make sure that rule of law is established firmly and fairly in our country. I must explain that rule of law in Burmese, in Myanmar, translates as rule of just laws. It's not just any law, just laws, we say, the rule of just laws, and this is what we want. In order to have just laws, we need a legislature that has the capacity to make sure that our laws are just. And for this also, we looked to the experience of the Lok Sabha and other legislative bodies in this land. Apart from just laws, we need the implementation of these laws, which means capacity building for our police force, and this is another area in which India is very kindly helping us and which we appreciate greatly. So with the rule of just laws in our country, we can go forward to establish a truly democratic federal union, which is the dream of all our peoples, all our ethnic nationalities. We have been trying to bring peace to our country for many decades. We hope that the time has come for us to be able to say, we have made it, we have made the breakthrough, we are now firmly set on the path to a union that will be a union for as long as the world endures. And in this too, we looked to India with its experience of federalism to teach us how we may best bring all our peoples into the process, to be part of our search for peace, stability, and a strong, enduring federal union. Once again, I would like to thank His Excellency and also to take the opportunity of thanking the President of India for inviting us to be guests at his residence, Rashtrapati Bhavan. This is a signal honor done to us, and we cannot but appreciate it from the very depths of our hearts. Thank you.
I thank the two leaders for their statements. This concludes the joint press briefing. Thank you all.
तो अभी आप ये सीधी तस्वीरें देख रहे थे हैदराबाद हाउस से, जहां की प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी और आंग सान सू की, जो कि स्टेट काउंसलर है म्यांमार की, दोनों ही ज्वाइंट प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस को संबोधित कर रहे थे, और जिसमें कि प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने कहा कि जो 3 महत्वपूर्ण समझौते हुए हैं भारत और म्यांमार के बीच, जिनमें कि बैंकिंग सेक्टर में हुआ है, पावर सेक्टर में, ऊर्जा के क्षेत्र में जो हुआ है समझौता, उसके बारे में चर्चा किया गया, और साथ ही साथ इंश्योरेंस सेक्टर में भी एग्रीमेंट्स हुए हैं। इन तीनों ही अहम समझौतों के जरिए भारत और म्यांमार के बीच जो है रिश्ते और भी मजबूत होंगे। साथ ही साथ प्रधानमंत्री ने अपने वक्तव्य में यह भी कहा कि आंग सान सू की के नेतृत्व में म्यांमार एक नई दिशा और एक नई दशा तय करने के लिए आगे काफ़ी बढ़ रहा है, और उन्होंने ये कहा कि भारत जो आंग सान सू की के लिए एक दूसरे घर के समान है, क्योंकि उनकी पढ़ाई यहाँ हुई है, उनके काफ़ी संबंध जो काफ़ी पुराने हैं हिंदुस्तान के साथ, इसलिए उनको दूसरा घर भी कहा। और साथ ही साथ प्रधानमंत्री ने यह भी कहा कि जो प्रोडक्टिव जो डिस्कशन हुआ है वो म्यांमार के साथ हुआ है, ताकि भारत जो कुछ भी मदद चाहता है म्यांमार वो उसको देने के लिए हमेशा तैयार रहता है। और अपने संबोधन में आंग सान सू की ने भी कहा कि भारत का इतिहास काफ़ी पुराना है, इनका जो डेमोक्रेटिक सेटअप है हिंदुस्तान का वो काफ़ी पुराना है, और इससे जो म्यांमार है वो काफ़ी कुछ सीख सकता है भारत से, ना सिर्फ डेमोक्रेसी के क्षेत्र में बल्कि जो इकोनॉमिक एक हब के तौर पर भारत विकसित होता जा रहा है, तो इकोनॉमिक और जो डेमोक्रेटिक रिलेशन है वो हिंदुस्तान के साथ काफ़ी प्रगाढ़ हो गए हैं, और आने वाले दिनों में वो काफ़ी कुछ सीख भी सकता है हिंदुस्तान के साथ साथ। और साथ ही साथ एग्रीकल्चर के क्षेत्र में, कृषि के क्षेत्र में, साथ ही साथ ऊर्जा, ऑयल और गैस की बात हो या फिर फाइनेंस सेक्टर की बात हो, इन तमाम क्षेत्रों में किस तरह से भारत म्यांमार की मदद कर सकता है, इन तमाम क्षेत्रों में दोनों नेताओं के बीच आपसी बातचीत हुई है। और साथ ही साथ जो